The investigation surrounding Prince Andrew continues to escalate in ways that are becoming impossible to ignore. According to multiple sources, authorities have expanded their inquiries to include Royal Lodge, a residence long seen as a symbol of his royal privilege. This development is not merely procedural. It is highly symbolic. For the first time, a property so closely associated with a senior royal figure has become part of an active criminal investigation. At the same time, tension outside the palaces has reached new levels. In Sandringham, reporters describe scenes of near chaos as local residents express growing anger. These are not just quiet complaints. Some voices have gone as far as calling for Andrew to be extradited to face accusations abroad. The fury reflects a wider reality. Public trust in the monarchy, already fragile after years of controversy, is now being pushed to breaking point. Against this backdrop, the image of Andrew's current life appears increasingly bleak. He is now said to be living in isolation at Wood Farm, a quiet house described as lonely and cut off from public view. His company consists mainly of a handful of staff and several dogs. Gone are the formal engagements and royal ceremonies. What remains is a secluded existence that many interpret as a form of internal exile within his own country. Yet if Andrew believes that withdrawal from public life will shield him from scrutiny, the digital world has proved him wrong. An activist group once displayed an image of Andrew leaving a police station inside the Louvre, turning one of the world's most famous museums into a stage for protest. From that image, countless AI-generated memes quickly spread online. Within hours, his face appeared across social media platforms, transformed into satire and political commentary. This was not simply mockery for entertainment. It illustrated how, in the modern age, royal scandal is reshaped into digital culture, where reputation is broken down into viral content and shared endlessly. As public anger grows, a new political battleground has emerged, the line of succession. Andrew currently remains eighth in line to the throne. While that position makes his chances of ever becoming king extremely remote, his continued presence on the list has become controversial in itself. Pressure is mounting on Parliament and on Prime Minister Keir Starmer to pass special legislation removing Andrew from the succession altogether. Supporters of this idea argue that the monarchy cannot hope to rebuild public confidence while keeping such a disputed figure formally linked to its future. However, critics see this proposal as a distraction. They claim that focusing on succession is a political gesture rather than a solution. From their perspective, the real issue is the criminal investigation, not a largely theoretical position in the royal order. Since Andrew's chances of ever ascending the throne are minimal, they argue that removing him from the list would create the illusion of action without addressing the deeper crisis facing the institution. The controversy does not stop at national politics. It has reached local communities as well. Some councils are debating whether to rename streets and landmarks associated with Andrew, such as Prince Andrew Road. In certain areas, this has triggered heated arguments among residents. One side insists that keeping such names is a form of honor that is no longer justified. The other warns that changing them would be an overreaction, disrupting everyday life in response to a political scandal. These disputes show how deeply the issue has penetrated into ordinary British life. At the heart of all these developments, Andrew continues to deny any wrongdoing connected to his association with Jeffrey Epstein. His position has remained consistent. He rejects the accusations and insists that he has committed no crimes. For him, this is a battle for personal reputation. For the public, however, the question is larger than his individual guilt or innocence. It has become a test of how the monarchy handles scandal and accountability in the modern era. The central problem is that the royal family no longer operates in a world where silence can bury controversy. In a 24-hour news cycle and a global social media environment, every detail becomes evidence in the court of public opinion. Andrew is no longer judged solely by legal institutions but by millions of people online every day. And public verdicts are often faster, harsher, and far harder to reverse than those delivered in courtrooms. This story, therefore, goes beyond Prince Andrew as a single figure. It raises a broader question for Britain itself. Can a monarchy rooted in tradition and bloodline adapt to an age that demands transparency, responsibility, and ethical conduct? Can an institution built on ceremony survive in a culture that expects openness and consequence? As searches reportedly continue, as parliamentary debates grow louder, and as social media continues to turn each new detail into ridicule or outrage, Andrew's future remains uncertain. Whether he will ultimately face serious legal consequences is still unknown. What is clear, however, is that his public image has suffered profound damage. Restoring it, if that is even possible, may prove to be one of the most difficult challenges the British monarchy has faced in decades. The search of Royal Lodge may only be the beginning. The real question is this: will the monarchy choose to defend tradition at all costs, or sacrifice a controversial figure to preserve public trust? And will Prince Andrew, once a symbol of royal privilege, become the ultimate example of how scandal is punished in the digital age?